you got into music through all those bands?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's same as a lot of people. You know, just picked up the guitar, learned how to play Wonderwall and a few Green Day songs, a few Nirvana songs, and you know, like that's the same ones everyone learns when they first start a band. And yeah, I was really into like that kind of music, like alternative music, rock music. And then I just applied to music college on a kind of on a whim. I didn't really think I would get in, but I got in, and that kind of changed things for me a bit.
Did you know you could sing at that point?
Yeah, I suppose I knew I could. I always knew I could sing. I mean, I didn't know if it was any good, but I always knew I liked to sing, and that it was like, and that I was just wanted to do it more, you know. But I didn't know I wanted to be a singer, you know. But, I guess I was always encouraged, and you know, I didn't have any shame around singing that a lot of people seem to have.
And the songwriting, because obviously you saw your mother writing songs. So did that come as naturally as the singing?
I think that's just something I thought, you know, that's the cool thing to do, you know, like when you start playing other people's songs, and then you like be in a band, and then it's like, yeah, let's write our own songs, and it's just exciting, you know, you're just trying things out. And, it didn't come, you know, I wrote one or two, and then, yeah, I've never been really super prolific songwriter, but I've always got songs that I'm working on. Yeah.
So you started very early on with...
I wrote my first song when I was about 16, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what it was about?
Yeah. It was called Cold Steel.
Okay.
It was about, it was trying me like pretending to be like a blues man, you know. Yeah.
Do you still have that recording?
Yes, I've got one somewhere, yeah.
Okay. Well, and if we then fast forward a little bit, you have your debut record out. Everything is going well, and you're nominated for the BBC Sound of 2011 poll. So, and then after that, when did you begin thinking about a new album?
Probably while I was touring.
Okay.
That record. It came out of Mirrorwriting. I'd never really thought beyond the process of making it.
Okay.
So the live, I hadn't put a lot of thought into the live thing. And
why not?
I don't know. I just didn't imagine. It was just I was so consumed with the making of the record, you know. So it was quite a challenge, you know. A lot of things changed for me around that time, and I was still really proud of the record, but it was hard to play live.
Okay.
You know, there's so many variables that go into making live music successfully, I think. And there was maybe so I think yeah, and a lot of the songs on that record were quite sort of delicate, kind of. They didn't really lend themselves to being kind of, you know, you lost a lot of the detail, I think, by trying to keep it very detailed. So I think I learned a lot from it, about that really, and then I learned that, you know, there was a couple of players that I changed my band around right near the end of the campaign, and started playing with a drummer and a bass player that I used to play with years ago, and it felt really nice again, and I thought, yeah, I'll try and make a record with these guys.
In that way, were you a bit overwhelmed by how well the first album did?
In a way, I suppose I was, you know. Okay. There was, just like I said, a lot of things changed, you know, like on a big label, there's a lot of hype around the record because of the sound off thing, poll. Before, there was a lot of ideas about what the record was before it even came out. And I felt like I was constantly having to deal with that, which was, and I didn't really know how to deal with that.
Because one thing I wrote down was, I think you said that the perception of who you were and the music was different than how you saw it. So was it? How did you reconcile it in the end?
Well, you know, I went along with it. I rode it out. I rode it out for as long as possible. You know, I had some amazing opportunities to play all over the world, and you know, people were feeling it, and just kept going. Really, that's all you can do, I suppose. Like especially with tours, like you know, they're written in months in advance. So yeah, I was enjoying the experience, but also it was frustrating to me that the live thing was not really working as well as I hoped, and and so eventually, and you know, I could have made that campaign, you know, that album last longer, but I just kind of shut it down really, and just started thinking about the next thing.
So, well, the next thing is this is the new album. So, was the main focus playing it live, or was there a clear emphasis on that when you started writing the songs?
Yeah, there's definitely. It was created live, so it's easier to, you know, and they're very simple materials we're working with, you know, just simple elements. So I think there was an idea of simplicity in making that record, and also I was making music that I would imagine would be good fun for us to play, you know, and that we can develop as well on stage.
And then you said, well, you're always working on songs, but you've also said you're not a very quick songwriter. So, what was with what we just talked about? Was that why it took 4 years? Because you really wanted to get it right, the live sound?
Yeah. I just, you know, it's a different process. So there was a lot, you know, we did a lot of jamming, like worked with a few different people, tried a few different producers out, wrote songs with different people, and then eventually I found my co-producer Lexx, who had a studio which was really close to my house as well, which was good. And then we just, from when I found him, it was about 14 months until the end. We finished it in April this year.
What made working with Lexx as comfortable as it was for you?
Well, I think we both wanted to make a similar kind of record. You know, he'd always wanted to make a record that was with live players and that, you know, really groovy, and so did I. You know, we had our aims kind of matched up, and also he just had, and also I wanted to have someone that could take over the technical side of production, and that freed me up to concentrate on other things, you know, rather than trying to do it all myself.
Is this something you had to learn to give away some of the control?
Yeah, but once I did, I loved it. Okay. You know, so.
What was the first song then that kind of grew out of that collaboration?
It was Message. It was the first track on the record, which is that's why we made it the first one.
Okay. And do you remember where you were when you wrote it?
I wrote it in a jam session in this house that before I met Lexx. I wrote the melody, and we had the groove and the bass line. So there was an idea about the feel of the song, but the actual meaning. And I had the first line, message from the Victor via satellite, and that was floating around. But that's kind of all I had. And then took it to Lexx, and then we just recorded it. We just pretended we finished the song really, and recorded all the drums and all the bass. And we spent a long time sculpting that, getting that right, getting the sound of the drums right, and then kind of. Just kind of, that's what we did. We just started working like that. We're just recording one song at a time, these grooves, and then kind of leaving them for a while. Most of the melodies I wrote kind of on the spot, but the lyrics took a bit longer, and I was just like, well, if the lyrics aren't going to come now, I'll wait till the end of the process. You know, I'll do them.